Welcome to Strawberry Ink., the show where we explore untold stories and shed light on lives that history often forgets. Today, we're diving into the life of Venus Xtravaganza, a vibrant, ambitious, and resilient transgender woman whose journey came to a tragic end in the late 1980s. Her story took us into the gritty streets of New York City, the underground ballroom scene, and the challenges of living as a transgender woman in an unforgiving time. Venus Xtravaganza was born on May 22, 1965, in Jersey City, New Jersey. Her real name was Thomas Pelagatti, and she grew up in a family of Italian and Puerto Rican descent. From a young age, Venus knew she was different, assigned male at birth. She began to realize that her true identity was female. This discovery, though empowering, was met with resistance and misunderstanding. In the privacy of her room, Venus would experiment with makeup and clothing, exploring her femininity. These moments of self-expression were crucial but risky. When her family discovered her drag outfits, tensions rose. Her parents disapproved, creating a rift that would only grow over time. At just 14 years old, Venus began crossing the Hudson River into New York City, a world vastly different from her Jersey City upbringing. It was there that she found a sense of belonging in the drag and ballroom community. It was during these escapades that Venus met two pivotal figures in her life: Angie Xtravaganza, a transgender woman who became her chosen mother, and Hector Valley, a gay businessman who co-owned a prominent gay club. Angie and Hector welcomed Venus with open arms, offering her the acceptance and support she lacked at home. The House of Extravaganza was more than just a nightclub. It was a sanctuary. Here, performers showcased their talent through drag and voguing, creating a world where self-expression was celebrated. Venus, too, became part of this vibrant family. She adopted the name Venus Xtravaganza and began performing at the club. Her charm and confidence lit up the stage, but her dreams extended far beyond the ballroom. With Angie and Hector's encouragement, Venus pursued her passion for beauty, enrolling in cosmetology school. After graduating, she worked as a hairstylist while continuing to perform. Venus's aspirations didn't stop there. She dreamed of becoming a model, saving up enough money for gender reassignment surgery, a step she felt was essential to fully becoming herself. However, life for transgender women in the 1980s wasn't easy. Prejudice, violence, and systemic barriers were constant obstacles. To fund her surgery and dreams of becoming a model, Venus began working as a sex worker. It was dangerous work, but she saw it as a means to an end. One night, Venus narrowly escaped an aggressive client who became violent upon realizing she was transgender. It was a chilling reminder of the risks she faced daily. Venus got PTSD from this incident and started smoking marijuana. She then stopped being a sex worker and chose to work as an escort instead. On December 21st, 1988, Venus's life was tragically cut short. Her body was discovered under a bed in a hotel room in Manhattan's Fulton Hotel. She had been strangled, and it was determined she had been dead for 4 days. Her murder shocked the LGBTQ+ community, but heartbreakingly, Justice has never been served. The killer remains unidentified, and Venus's case remains unsolved to this day. Venus was buried at Holy Cross Cemetery in North Arlington, New Jersey. Her death is a stark reminder of the violence faced by transgender individuals then and now. Yet, Venus's legacy lives on. She was featured in the 1990 documentary Paris is Burning, which brought visibility to the ballroom scene and the struggles and triumphs of its members. Her story, like those of so many others, deserves to be told, not just to remember her, but to shine a light on the systemic issues that still plague the transgender community today. Venus Xtravaganza was more than her tragic end. She was a trailblazer, a dreamer, and a fighter. In sharing her story, we honor her life and the countless others whose voices have been silenced. If you or someone you know has information about Venus's case, please contact the authorities in New York City, such as NYPD or any one of their homicide units. Together, we can strive for the justice she was denied. Venus was caught cross-dressing in her older brother's wedding, and that is when she ran away and chose to no longer be with her family. However, the family is well aware of what occurred to her because Angie informed them after speaking to detectives. As of now, her parents and one of her brothers have passed away, but her other brothers are still alive and continue seeking justice. They to this day remember her and are proud of her. They claimed that Venus would sometimes stay at their grandparents' house and have contact with them, despite the situation. They love her a lot and were glad people like Angie and Hector took care of her. Sadly, Hector died of AIDS in 1985. Angie then died of health complications, years after Venus was murdered. She had managed this situation quite well, and it was very good of her to inform Venus's biological family of what had occurred. At the end of the documentary, Paris is Burning, Andrew claimed to have warned Venus that the streets were very dangerous and that she should be careful when out there. She claimed that Venus had gone too wild. Until next time, take care of one another and remember to celebrate the resilience of those who came before us.